Welcome, everybody. It's Heidi from Aspen, and welcome to our Monday Grow Pro leadership call. We've renamed it. What is this? And I love that. And we're going to kind of go through all the calls that we have and how to get plugged in. And then Marianne's going to share on follow-up and retention, and which is so huge in this business, right? We don't want to fill a calendar. We want to fill a business with people that stick so we can build a sustainable residual income. That's what this is all about. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and pull up this little slideshow. And guys, whoops, can everybody see it? Okay, awesome. And I love Isadreamteam, household name. We are at the forefront of this. And this Monday Grow Pro Leadership Zoom call is for those of you who really want to build a significant income, a residual income. This is not for the person who says, oh, I'll share it with a couple people. This is for those that want to go and grow pro. I love our mission statement. It's in total alignment with Isagenix company mission statement and vision. Guys, if you don't mind muting yourself out, I hear a dog barking. That's okay, but thank you. We are the Isadreamteam. So we are creating an international movement and culture. We celebrate each other's physical and financial success. That's so important, guys. We celebrate each other's physical and financial success. This is a lot about recognition as we work towards our common mission to impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain. And as Marianne's team and our team have joined together in collaboration, one of my favorite parts of what we do on this team is the last sentence, which Emily Britt actually came up with, the team behind your dream. And this is what we don't do. We don't throw spaghetti against the wall to see who sticks. We work with people. We lock arms with people and we show them the ropes. The first thing I want to mention is that I see Joe Laubers on the Zoom call. Hi, Joe. And he enrolled somebody so incredible, Dr. Deb Carlin. And it's so cool because everything that she is all about, her life's mission, absolutely dovetails with what we do in Isagenix. And, Deb and I were talking, and we were talking about how we're all in this life to grow, to grow spiritually, to grow emotionally, to grow financially, to grow mentally. But, it all starts with a nutritionally sound body. That's what I truly believe. If you're not healthy, if you're not physically healthy, you can't get far in any of those other significant areas. And that's what she's all about. So it's so cool that she's embraced Isagenix as part of her message as a doctor and as a coach. And Saturday, November 19th in St. Louis. And I just want to, everybody on this call really ring get into your head. And it's not just who you know, but who do you know who knows someone who's in St. Louis or in that vicinity? Because this is going to be an amazing presentation. It's going to be, this is how we get to it. And of course, you can find the link to this on the Isadreamteam calendar where on November 19th. So if you click on the calendar, which I'm going to show you in a minute, you're going to find this and you can find tickets here. It's $25 for associates and it's free for your guests. So again, this is going to be, it's in a beautiful venue. You can see the arch in the University Club Towers. We've been to a Super Saturday and it's just beautiful. And we have not only Deb Carlin, who's an absolute rock star. We also have, here's the agenda. And, for those of you who aren't from St. Louis and don't know from anyone from St. Louis, I want you to really, keep this as part of your vision. You know, visualize enrolling someone like Deb. Visualize having a life-changing event like this in your vicinity. So it's, as I said, from 3 to 6, but 3 to basically 3:30 to 4, Dr. Deb Carlin's going to talk about building the strength within, which is the name of a book she wrote, of the 11 books she's written. And then 4 to 5, we're going to talk about health and well-being. And the amazing, incredible Dr. Fred Williams, who's a gastroenterologist in St. Louis, Johns Hopkins trained, is going to train on the products. He's the best. He's absolutely the best. I mean, people hear him and he just brings so much credibility to what we're doing. And then for those who want to stay from 5 to 6, Paul and I are going to talk about the opportunity, the financial solution, one of my very favorite products that we offer, if not my very favorite. So definitely, you know, think about plugging into this amazing presentation and get your peeps there. Start making phone calls, start texting, send them the invitation, you know, really, really build for this. Oh, shoot. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is New Year's kickoff. I just heard from corporate. I just got a letter or an email, and this is a secret, but we are going to be launching 11 new products at New Year's kickoff. We have so much excitement going on. They're tweaking the videos to make them more mainstream. Isagenix is taking it to a new level, and you need to be there at New Year's kickoff. I always say this, but the 5 pillars of health are my fuel for operating physically at my highest level. These events, these corporate events, are my fuel for operating at my highest level in this business. You need to go to these events. You need to be corporate trained. And it will fuel you and your belief to keep going when the going gets tough, and it will. So this is what I suggest, and this is what I've always done. I would never ask anyone to do anything I haven't done. But my recommendation is, if you're serious about this business, and remember, you guys, it's laughable, the opportunity that we have here with Isagenix to build a residual income with no glass ceiling. And in comparison with that opportunity, how little we need to invest. We need to invest in ourselves. We need to invest in getting to these events. And, you know, the products are what we have to, you know, we're a product of our products. So we eat our overhead. This is what I suggest. You need to get to NYKO, it's a must. You need to get to Celebration, it's a must. And you need to get to at least one Isagenix university and get to anywhere you can drive. You know, if you can drive, get there. So that's for those who want to grow pro. Okay, I love this. Marianne and I were talking last week, and we got a little frustrated because it's like, I can't believe it. You know, so-and-so just asked me where to find this. And it's like, well, duh, it's right here. You know, and I don't ever want to forget that the new person coming into this business needs to hear something 21 times on average to remember it. And so on these Monday calls, we're going to start these Monday calls. And those of you that are really very, very seasoned, maybe you want to hop on 5 minutes later, you know, instead of, because some of this is going to be redundant, but the most important person in your business is the new person. So get your new person into the, you know, to these calls, and they need to know the foundations of how to plug in, how to get to events, etc. And by the way, in the chat, can everyone tell me where to find how to register for New Year's kickoff? Just in the chat. Where do you register for New Year's kickoff? Where do you register for Celebration? Where do you find the Isagenix events around the country? Everyone needs to know that. I only have 2 people. Thank you, Deborah. Okay, yeah, okay. So Jessica said back office under managed events, and you guys are all right. Debbie says, okay, yeah, it's isagenixevents.com. And that's where you find the events. But if you want to register for the events, you want to go into your back office and click on events. Okay. And a lot of people, and you need to encourage your brand new people to get to an event. And this is what I always say. It's like I say to someone new, I'm enrolling someone new today. And I said, you know, the first thing you need to do really, if you're serious about growing a business, is you need to be corporate trained. I'm going to teach you everything I know, but it starts with a foundation of belief. And when you go to a corporate event, that's when you're going to see and experience all that this company is. And you're going to see the integrity, and you're going to see the scientific advisory board, and you're going to see what this company is all about. And you're going to have that foundation of belief to be able to implement all the tools that we train on these Monday leadership calls. Make sense? Okay, go Rita. Registered 2 spots. Okay, Marianne, my microphone shows muted. Okay, that's okay. We're going to open up the call at the end. Okay, so are you plugged in, guys? You know, are you plugged in? Are you plugging your people that say, hey, I want to build a business with Isagenix? Are you plugging them into our group? Because, you know, just like a cell phone, you don't keep it plugged in, you don't recharge it, you don't plug into that power source, which is us, this team, you're going to burn out. So I want to talk about, we have a lot of Facebook pages. The Isadreamteam is the original. That's the original Facebook page. It was created prior to Real People, Real Results, prior to Fresh Start, prior to Success. And, you know, we've often thought, as Lynn's larger team has come in and created these others, should we forget about the Isadreamteam Facebook page? And the answer is always no. It's it's a place to welcome people. It's a place to keep connected, especially in St. Louis, although, you know, so many of us have roots there in St. Louis. So we have the Isadreamteam Facebook page. We have our Real People, Real Results page. That's our virtual store. That's where we invite prospects to go poke around. We welcome them, and we garner third-party validation. Hey guys, I still hear some background noise. If you can mute yourself out, just click on your face and on the screen, and click on the microphone. Audio, yeah, mute. Okay, so we have our Real People, Real Results page, our prospecting page. We have our Fresh Start page, and I can't drill down on this enough. And those of you who already know this, you need to be able to explain this very clearly to people. So I think it bears repeating at least 21 times. So the Real People, Real Results, that's where our prospects are marinating and looking around and poking around. And every time you post a content post, they're going to see it. They're not going to get an alert on every post, thank God, in Real People, Real Results. But when you, because you're friends with them, post in Real People, Real Results, they're going to get notified on Facebook. So you're constantly, through those content posts, pulling them back into your virtual store. It's another opportunity for advertising marketing. Once a prospect converts to an associate, okay? Once a prospect converts to an associate with a wholesale account, in other words, once you enroll them, they now become a customer. And they are, you know, then we move to a different category with them. We're no longer marketing to them. We're coaching and supporting their success. Make sense? Now, Real People, Real Results has a Facebook page, and Fresh Start has a product support page. I call it our VIP product support page, Fresh Start. And then last but not least is our Success Facebook page. Remember, these are all Facebook pages. And our Success Facebook page is our business support page. That's a place to, really keep abreast of what's happening. Lynn does a great job of posting great content for us to move our businesses forward. And then last but not least, there's the private Facebook message group, the private chat group. Have you plugged your people into this? And before you do so, have you explained to them what it's all about? This private message group is an idea exchange group. I have a couple of them, one for my right leg, one for my left leg. But it's basically a group where we troubleshoot. For example, hey, I don't know what's going on. My welcome post for so-and-so on Real People, Real Results it has not been approved yet. Things like that. And there's some administrators in that group that we can help you, troubleshoot that. It's a place to ask questions. So this is a really great place. And here's the deal. We do not want to oversaturate our brand new people with too much. So I always also show them, and I have a little, if any of you need this, just let me know, but I have a little Evernote that I've created that shows how to mute the conversation. So people can just go to the idea exchange group when they want to and ask a question, and their phone's not constantly dinging, because that can get annoying, right? Okay, whoops. The next thing, are you plugged in to the Isadreamteam.com? Do you have this bookmarked? You guys, this website has our team calendar. This website contains our system. And, if you're a good sponsor, enrolling sponsor, and if you're on this call, really those of you on this call are looking to get to the point where you're so comfortable with these tracking sheets, the prospecting tracking sheet, which correlates with Real People, Real Results, the product coaching tracking sheet, which correlates to Fresh Start, and our business coaching tracking sheet, which correlates with Success. You want to be so familiar and you know where everything is on these tracking sheets that you can guide your new associate and feed them one bite at a time so they don't get overwhelmed. You need to stay tethered to these tracking sheets, because these tracking sheets have live links and videos explaining the live links, showing you what to do with what category. Are they a prospect, a new product user, or a business person? What to do with who, when. Okay, so as we move forward, I think this is important. This is going to become more and more streamlined. It's going to become simpler, not more complicated. That's what experts do. They make something that looks extremely complicated look very, very simple. I think of a ballerina. I took ballet, and believe me, it took a long time for me to look graceful, but that's the point. Okay, are you plugged into our team trainings? Another really important thing to do is plug in to the team trainings and plug your new associates in to the team trainings that are going to resonate with them. In other words, don't throw all this at them at once. You might start texting them and saying, hey, if you want to plug into this, great, but don't overwhelm them. So right now we're on our Monday Grow Pro leadership call. Okay. You're wondering where to find details. We're going to show you. It's on the Isadreamteam.com. Okay. There are calendars there with all the information on who's conducting the Grow Pro leadership call that Monday, what the subject matter is of that leadership call, etc. And most, 90% of those leadership calls correlate with one of the steps or two or three of the steps in our tracking sheets. So it's very intuitive. Once you understand how this all works together, and I say this a lot, but when I first got into Isagenix, I thought, oh my God, there's a million things to learn. And what I've found is there's a few things to learn, said a million different ways. So these tracking sheets really are the roadmap. They are your navigation system to guide you and on how to work with each person that you're bringing into Isagenix. Our Tuesday tornado call. I love this call because, guys, this is what I find. And raise your hand if you if you find this too. People will go to a corporate event. I'll send somebody a video of Isagenix opportunity, or the video or the podcast that Paul and I did about residual income. They'll get all excited, but then I notice they don't do anything. They don't actually turn that excitement into activity. So it's worthless. And, I heard David Wood says this, I think it's David Wood, motivation's like a shower. You need to get it every day. So this Tuesday tornado call is really wonderful. Basically, okay, no, I'm sorry. That's what we do on this is, sorry guys, hold on. The Tuesday tornado call, we highlight like the promotion of the week, for example. And this week, by the way, there's free membership, guys, for anybody who enrolls with 175 business volume or more. So one of the things we do on the Tuesday training call is drill down on what to say, how to promote this week's, specials that Isagenix gives us. The other thing we do is we get people to really dig deep and share what's holding them back, their fear of picking up the phone or whatever. And, I don't know if Kristen's on the call, but congratulations, Kristen. She became consultant and enrolled 2 President's Packs. And she was so vulnerable and really shared what was holding her back on the Tuesday tornado call week before last, or maybe it was last week. But anyway, the goal of that is to get people into activity. And there's something magic that happens on this call when it's not just you sitting in a room alone with a phone and a laptop. There's something magic that happens when I'm doing it. Marianne's doing it. Joe's doing it. We're doing it together. We're doing it together. So this can be a lonely business, and that's what I love about this Tuesday tornado call. Where can you find the information on how to plug into the Tuesday tornado call? You guys, if you can go to your chat and let me know where you can find the Tuesday tornado call, where you can find the information for Lynn's In It to Win It call that is 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Wednesday evenings. Where can you find this information? Where can you find the information for Freedom Friday? I want everyone to really understand this because we've created these tools on the Isadreamteam calendar. Yay! Ours is okay. Beautiful. Okay, so you guys know where to find this. Are you subscribed to our text reminder group? And if you want to be, are you subscribed to Lynn's, our larger group's team newsletter? Where would you find that? Well, let me show you because this might be a little bit, those aren't on the calendar, obviously, but think about it. What category of the people that you're working with would be interested in subscribing to our team newsletter? Which category of the people that you're working with would be interested in getting text reminders for our coaching and business training calls?
Business builders.
Thank you, Joe. You get an A+. So, exactly. So guys, this is so easy. Subscribe to our team newsletter. Look, guys, there's live links. This is paint by number, step by step, easy peasy when you understand it. So, you have somebody pull this up, and, here's the thing. Like I said, getting things really streamlined and simple, because we know in this business, it's not what works, it's what duplicates, is my mission. And I'm always trying to take it to the level of how can this be more simple? How can this be more intuitive? How can people find the information quickly and easily? So this is an example of that. You take your new business builder here and you say, fill that up, sign up. And guys, this step on the success tracking sheet takes about a second, depending on how fast that you type. Okay, the text reminders. Not everybody's signed up for these text reminders. I personally love them. So if you want to subscribe to those, go ahead and subscribe here. Click on that and put your information in. Sign up now. Okay. And then, so this is the success tracking sheet, which we're going to go over. It's pretty intuitive. And then, of course, here, added to the Facebook chat groups, welcome names only and idea exchange. Guys, I'm thinking of eliminating the welcome names only, and here's why. Now we're tagging people, right? We're not really welcoming them in that chat group anymore. We're just tagging them in the welcome post on Real People, Real Results. So anyway, with that being said, what we're going to do now, let's see, is I'm going to turn the call over to Marianne, and I'm going to stop my share for a minute. Okay, Marianne.
Hey, girl.
Hello.
I'm just going to warn everybody, I just came off of UIA, University in Action, and woohoo! Okay, so I'm a little pumped up. I think there were over 10 millionaires in the room. We're talking to people who are making anywhere from, $20,000 a month to $93,000 a month. Okay, so love what you said, Heidi, about there's no glass ceiling. There's no glass ceiling. And these are people who never imagined in their life that they were worth this. So anyway, totally excited. And this piece about retention is the key, because that's the make money when you sleep stuff. So that's what gets me excited. I love enrolling. I love starting new people. I love creating the vision, but we got to keep them. I love the part about we're not throwing spaghetti on the wall, Heidi. I mean, that's totally not what we're doing, right? So we're going to use this flow chart that I've designed. I have used this with a lot of people. It has changed their retention in their team. We will also get this to you in the form of a checklist at some point. I was hoping to have it done by today, but I got a little distracted with David Wood. So Heidi, if you don't mind bringing up that slide or that spreadsheet.
Absolutely.
So that we can,
and
okay?
Marianne, before we show this spreadsheet, because I don't want people to get overwhelmed, should we also show the place that they can find on the tracking sheet, like what this correlates with?
Well, I'm going to walk them through that. If you just open this up, I think you'll see those
perfect
boxes at the top. So if we can just show the whole thing with the green boxes being able to be seen all the way across. Because really, guys, this is, what we talk about all the time. And if you see that part there that says process on the left, there's, the overarching thing, whether you're an RPRR or you're doing this in person, okay, or on the phone, is that we connect with people, we share information, and that's when they're in prospecting, right? They decide. We don't decide. They decide. We're the information providers. And that's, once they make that decision, now they're an associate, right? Mm-hmm. So then we move to the start and support piece, and then to retain and grow. So that's whether they've decided to be an ongoing product user, or they really have an interest in sharing a little bit, or, they're a 1, a 2, or a 3. That's basically what that means, right? So I want you to understand that that's how it fits. I mean, we have the tracking pages for prospecting. That's not part of this, right? Where we're starting is where they're making the decision and we're engaging them to move from prospecting to associate. Now they're an associate, and we're going to add them to Fresh Start. You're going to see in here how every piece of this actually correlates to all the boxes on those pages, okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to give you timelines. And the timelines are really critical. And I think that knowing how and when to engage with somebody is as important as what you're saying. And a lot of this, you're going to see these boxes on here and you're going to be like, wow, that's a lot of work. A lot of this is texting. A lot of this is, a quick message. I'm not doing all of this on the telephone, and I am not spending hours with every person. I will tell you that this timing component is a game changer. Okay. So if you go back to the left on the screen here, just one box, there you go. It says enrollment. All right. This is the decide the order piece. You guys get this, right? You're either on the phone, you're texting or email, whatever's working for that person. You're completing the enrollment form, and we've talked about where you find that on our website, the Isadreamteam, and it's in the prospecting components. Once they're signed up, you inform them about what's coming up next. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a copy of this order. You're going to get a copy of a welcome from the company, right? And you're going to get a copy of a placeholder order that I'm going to put in the system 30 days out. You're not going to be charged or obligated for this order, but let me tell you something. The reason you're getting that is because it gives you best pricing on the order you just did. Don't worry, you'll have the date, I'll have the date, we'll watch it. But right then and there, I am planting the seed with them that something else is coming. This isn't a 30-day wonder, okay? We just don't know what they like yet. How would we know what they're going to order in 30 days, right? So as you scroll down from that a little bit, this is where we're telling them what the next steps are going to be. Again, communication. We're going to set up an appointment to do the health goals for the new associate interview. If you haven't used that yet, you're going to find that that is a 5-question page, super simple. It gives you an opportunity to plant the seed for U+2 for even product users. When you email it to them and they look at it, they know you're just asking it some questions on how to support them best. And you're going to set that appointment either when the box arrives, if it's very fast, or if you know the box isn't going to get there for 3 to 5 business days or more, then you're going to talk to them about that ahead of time. You're going to ask them if it's okay to add them to Fresh Start, right? That's the whole piece that we talk about in our prospecting, in our Fresh Start pages. And then you reiterate at least 3 times. Their job is to text, call, or find you the minute the box arrives. And you guys are going to laugh, but honestly, I do that. At the end of the call, I say, okay, now I told you a lot of things, but what is your one homework thing that you're going to do? Like the one thing that you have to do. I'm going to find you. Perfect. Okay, so that's my parting piece. I want them to know that. And then it just talks about enrollment, so we don't need to really worry about that. So if you flip back up here a minute, so what's the next step? Well, the welcome, right? I mean, we've got the welcome letter. It's part of our Fresh Start page. We're going to do that. We're going to put them in Fresh Start, right? We've got those tools. It all connects right there. And potentially introduce them to some other team members. Hey, remember I told you about my friend Heidi? She lives in Aspen. She loves to ski. You love to ski. I'm going to, Heidi's going to, just be a backup for me. So I'd love to introduce you, whether that's an email, a message. It's easy. It's easy, but you start to create that camaraderie that they're going to see in Fresh Start, but you can also connect them to other people on your team if that works.
And guys, just Marian, not to deviate from what you're doing, but do you guys see how all of the things that Marianne's talking about, it's also, when I enroll somebody, I enroll and set up the orientation call, and all of this happens during the orientation call.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's all, again, it's not a million different things. It's a few things said a million different ways. And this is just such a phenomenal one glance sheet to illustrate
That's all this is. We want you to be able to capture the process in one place. We know, we want you to understand why the tools are so important because they fit together in this plan. And that's really the connection here. So just above those dark blue boxes, Heidi, is the, there we go. So the next piece, we've ordered, we've welcomed them, they've set their goals, right? Now they're going to start their product. And we've talked about that. How do you open the box, right? So this just walks through, how you do that. And Heidi's going to share with you some other simple tools about what they're doing. But I want you to take a look at the line above this that shows the timing, right? You've got days 2 through 5 coming up. So if you're working with weight loss and they're going to do 2 shake days. Now, all of you can choose how you want to do this. I will tell you that I personally choose to only explain shake days when I open the box. I don't explain cleanse days. I set their calendar, I get their goals, I get their commitments, I get their commitment to stay communicating with me. That is the most important thing that I accomplish when I'm working with these people, because I want to know that if I send them a text, I do not have to find them 5 times. Okay.
And Marian, do you also ask them, because that's something I do, is what's the best way for me to communicate with you?
Absolutely. What's the best way? What's the best time? And I make a note to myself, right? And I put
there's so many ways for people to communicate nowadays. It's crazy.
Right. I'm like, do you use text or is Messenger better? I know we've talked this way, but I don't want to bother you, but I want to be able to be effective. What's effective for you? And people will tell you, don't ever call me because you'll never find me. Right.
And I want to mention something about that. Don't ever call me. That's hilarious. And I did helped some associates enroll a couple president's packs yesterday. And one of the president's packs, basically, the girl who enrolled this guy knew and said to me, there's no way he's going to get on a 20-minute call and do an orientation call. There is no way. So we have to respect that. This is not, a good process and system. Also, you need to be flexible with it. One thing I'm going to do is in the welcome email, this is on my list of the many things I want to accomplish to streamline and simplify our system, is in case someone won't do an orientation call, I'm going to do a video that goes through the welcome email so they can just watch it and be acquainted with all these resources. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So
Marian.
What's really important here is this piece about establishing communications and their goals, right? This is about them, not about us. You guys have heard me say that a million times. So I don't want to overwhelm them. They've already opened a box. That's all this stuff. They already have committed to these shake days. They don't really understand what this is.
Oh,
So,
shoot, Marian, I'm having a tough time hearing you. Anybody else?
okay. Did that help? Are you okay? Heidi.
Uh-oh.
Heidi, you just froze on me. Can you hear me?
You guys in the chat, can everybody else hear? I'm having a tough time hearing. Can you hear?
Yes.
Oh,
Can you
good.
hear me?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, you froze for a minute on my end, so that's
Oh,
what.
it must be on my end. Okay, I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. That's all right. It's better to make sure. So if you bring the screen back up, but what was really key for me is this piece about not having to track people down. It is a giant waste of our time.
Yes.
And people say to me all the time, gosh, I try to get hold of them and I can't ever find them. Well, guess what? You got to ask. It's part of the ask. How are we going to do this together? I'm here to support you to succeed, but I can't do that alone. Like so you're the person in the game. I'm the support. How do we do that together? Mm-hmm. People are really open to that. They love that. So, once I get them on, then I tell them, look, I really want to talk to you for 5 minutes the day before you cleanse. We've got it set up. I know their dates. When's a good time to do that? Now, Heidi's going to share some tools that we send So they've got the backup, they've got the brochure, they've got more information than they could ever imagine. So therefore, they're overwhelmed and they do nothing. The confused mind says no, so they don't move. But when they hear me on the phone and I go, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Let's go through this, just 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. They will do that. I have people get on the phone with me driving home from work. I have people, call me first thing that morning. I have people that will literally seek me out. I know you asked me this, but can we change our time? To walk them through that cleanse day. And here's how I do it. I know you're going to have all the information. It's already there. I've given you a ton of stuff in writing, but you know what I have? I have the tips to success. I can tell you how many e-shots you can have. Okay. I can tell you what's really going to happen. Okay, great. I'll talk to you. Awesome. Okay, great. So now that's my second touch. And I want you guys to get this. These are touches. I've touched this when I enrolled. I touched them when we did the orientation call, the new associate interview. I've touched them when we did the box. I've touched them in some way when we've gotten ready for cleanse days. I'm texting through their cleanse days, right? We're gonna do some repeat performance of that for the second set of cleanse days. So now I've touched them again. Do you see this 30-day window? It is not a lot of time. These are 5 to 10 minutes, but I'm telling you, where I put those timelines across the top, they make a huge difference. Okay?
Marianne, I love this because what their experience, this is not a 30-day system, it's a lifestyle.
Right.
But their success, the first 30 days is going to it's going to be either a game changer for them and they're going to stay on this for life, or they're going to say, it didn't work. And
right.
I just want to say, this is really interesting. I enrolled, and I'll tell you what, I wish you were my sponsor. This is amazing. Oh, well, no, I love Lynn. Forget I said that. But this is amazing. I mean, you go the extra mile, which is what professionals do, right? You've gone the extra mile here. And I had, when we first start and we don't really know what we're doing, this is why it's so important to partner with someone like Marianne, and for you, if you want to be a pro, go pro, and lock arms with the person who does this business right and is successful so that you can create retention in your business. And, I enrolled someone 5 years ago who basically just threw their products away. And somebody else on my organization enrolled them again, and we're going to provide the right support. Luckily, it happens to be in my organization, but I would have lost that person because I didn't service them properly. I didn't have this back then.
And for me, there's two pieces, right? 85% of the people in this company will be product users for life if we do it right. Okay.
Right.
So as much as we want business builders and we want to create leverage, number one, we've got to remember 85% of the people are going to be our long-term residual. Number two, if I don't do this right, I can't build a consultant and I can't build them into a business builder. Mm-hmm. So many, many, many of our leaders were product users who said no to the business for months and months and months.
Definite.
So this is where you will win. This is the place. Okay. So this third to fourth week, so day 15 to 20, and you're going to figure out what's right. And by the way, every single conversation I'm having, just so you guys know, I am reinforcing success. Hey, how are you doing? Tell me about your results. Oh my gosh, is this right? I lost 7.5 pounds. I said, well, what did the scale say? It's totally possible. So I'm reinforcing success. They say, you know what I really love about this? I love it so convenient. Oh my gosh, me too, blah, blah, blah. Reinforce success. Reinforce, hey, has anybody noticed? That you ask every time, hey, has anybody noticed? Right? Because in their mind, you've already told them twice before this, U + 2. Okay? Mm-hmm. But this third piece, and if you can just kind of go into that, zoom in on that day 15 to 20 a little closer for us, I think that would be great. This is where you're going to do the auto ship. Now, up until this point, I have not taught them how to get into their back office. And there's a very specific reason, okay? When people have the information too soon to get into their back office, if they have a bad cleanse day, they'll go cancel the order. If they have, if they start to get nervous, they'll do all kinds of stuff because they don't have enough information and they haven't gotten through the experience. So what I'm recommending here is that you really consider, how you're managing the process. So this is the place where, I've set up a phone call to say, hey, remember we talked about that order out 30 days? I really want to explain that to you. I want to find out where you are. We need to figure out what you want to do next. So let's set that up. It's typically 20 to 30 minutes, honestly. And it's 30 minutes in a good way, because if I get that 30 minutes, it means we're talking about people we're going to share with. Does that make sense? So I want to get into that 30-minute call, so I always plan that much time. And here's how these conversations always start. Marianne, I don't need anything. I've got so much product. That's how they start every time. I know we were going to talk about that next order, but I don't think I need anything. Just be ready. That's what's coming. And I go, oh, that's great. Well, let's talk a little bit more about that. I ignore it. Because what I say is, how have you been doing? Talk to me now. So now I'm into, end of week 3, going towards week 4. What have they accomplished? Where are they versus their goals? These are the goals we talked about. Where are you? So I'm reinforcing success. Does that make sense? The second thing I'll do is I'll say to them, I want to show you a little bit about what's going on, right? So I either talk to them about their inventory here, or I go into the back office. I have a tendency to go to the back office first, and here's why. Let me show you how this works, and then we'll talk about whether you need anything or not. So I haven't validated or discredited either way with them. I'm just giving them an open door as we walk through the information. Here's what I do. I take them into their back office. I take them into team, view my team, so we can see the BV summary. Because in that BV summary, guess what? They've got BV. I explain what those points are. I show that, on that left side, see that 253, that number 253, or whatever the number is? Yeah. I go, that's other people that have ordered under you, that have come in the system after you that you don't know. What? Can you guys hear the conversation? Like, what? Yeah, see this number over here, PV, that's like 82. That's some of the stuff that you bought. Yeah? So yeah, this is really exciting. Remember I told you that if you ever decided to share, there were rebates? Well, what I didn't have an opportunity to tell you is it's not just on what you buy, but it's on what people who have come into the system after you have bought. And they're like, how does that work? I'm like, I know, this is crazy. So I explain to them, not the cycling, not all the details. I just say, if every month you use this food, and I'm not saying you will or you won't, but if you do, and it has a value of 100 points, this accumulates like a savings account. Now, I don't know what you know, but in the banking world today, if anybody's paying more than 0.5%, it's a huge interest number. That's what I say to people. I go, would you agree with that? They'll be like, yeah. So on this, you earn 6%. This is the most incredible bank account you have ever seen. Here's what's exciting about that. You didn't even put the money in. You're going to make 6% off somebody else's money. I said, how excited would you be if somebody came to your bank account, put money in, and you got interest on it? Okay? That's
I
exciting.
love that.
Okay? So now I went from I don't need anything to buy to a bank account that somebody else is putting money in that they can visibly see. All right. So I go, okay. I said, well, I just wanted to share that with you. I just want you to know. They're hanging on that. I'm not going to give them a lot of information because I'm building curiosity through the process. So let's go back over here. We talked about your great results. When you told me you've got a lot of stuff, I think that makes sense because let's look at your calendar. This is day 15 or day 20, whatever day it is. We're not going to ship this for another 10 days, which means it's going to arrive here. So what I'm hoping is the case, and please tell me it is that you have enough product to get you through the next week and a half or two. So that's why I want to look at your inventory. Now I have just took from what they thought was an overabundance to a scarcity. I hope you have enough. So I want you guys to get these words. So they start telling me their inventory. Well, I've got some shakes. Now I need to know, is it a canister? Is it 5? What do you have? Well, I have this. And I mentally have already calculated how much they need to get to the end of that month. I know exactly what it is, right? It's a canister a week. That's how many shakes they need. So they tell me and I walk them through and go, okay, well, great. Let me just tell you where I think you're going to be at day 30. You're going to be out of this. 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 Now, based on what you told me, the goal was 30 pounds. You've done 10. don't we want to go after those other 20? Absolutely. Okay, so let's assume that my calculations are accurate and we're out at the end of the month. Okay, this is going to land right when you're out of your vitamins, your product, your shakes, your cleanse, your ionics. You're not going to have anything. So in order for this to be a repeat performance, do you want to do exactly what we did to begin with, or is there something you'd like to change? They start spitting out information to me like this. Well, I really would prefer to do like shakes and bars instead of just shakes all the time. Great. Well, how many days do you think you'd prefer to do the shake bar thing? Let me help you with those calculations. You definitely need ionics. You definitely need your box of vitamins. You definitely need 2 things of cleanse. I know what they need. So are you guys getting this? I started with, I don't want anything, to now I'm going to go in and show them how easy it is to change their auto ship. Right? This is the place where I go, okay, great. Let me show you how easy this is. Boom. You're in there. You show them the auto ship. You show them how to make the change. They get it. They're like, and every time, I kid you not, every time. So does this mean I'm at those 100 points? Now I haven't said that again. And every time they go, well, if I do this, do I get those 100 points? Oh, honey, you're good. So you see how little those points are? Like what you just did is way past those 100 points. It's so easy to stay at 100 points every month. What did I just do, right? I created a lifestyle. I created easy solutions. I got them to understand. I wasn't pressuring them. I wasn't pushing them to anything. I wasn't asking them to do something difficult. I was helping them understand how what we do is a grocery store. The last thing it talks about on here, and I don't know if you can just get that last piece down there, but at the very bottom, right here on that section, it says U plus 2. That's your close. That's how you close this out. I know we talked about this, but the way that we're going to start to create that 6% generating income for you, plus some other rebates and bonuses we've talked about that are significant, in addition to the 6%, is if you have 2 people you think could benefit from this. Who do you know? Who do you know? This is how you make consultants out of people who don't want to build a business. Okay, and we know that if people get a $54 check, even once or twice a year, their retention number is dramatically higher. So I hope that helps you guys understand the timing of what we've been sharing with all of our tracking sheets. Because what's going to happen next is that box is going to arrive. They're going to have to contact me or let me know. I'm going to check in and just make sure that they've got their cleanse days set up. There are some people that I have to do parts of this for 90 days. People aren't going to get it the first time. This isn't a one-stop shop, do it for 30 days and drop them. Okay, do not drop people. Do not. Some people will get it very quickly. I've had some people that I can do this entire thing in the first week. I have other people that 6 months later, we're still doing parts of this. Don't give up on them. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay for your business. It's not okay for them. It's not okay for the reputation of the business you're building. You want people to walk around your community and say, I don't know if you've ever worked with Heidi Burkemper, but she's amazing. She really cares about me and she really helped me. Like, you should see what she does for people. You want that to be your legacy. So if you don't engage, then people are going to not talk about you. They're not going to share the good news, and they're not going to share about Isagenix. And, we've been talking about creating this awareness campaign that you are the Isagenix solution. You as a person are where they need to come. This makes a difference. And I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I promise you that anyone that I have ever enrolled will tell you that I care more about them than I care about myself. And that I have gone the extra mile to help them, because that's what it takes. And honestly, selfishly, that's what it has to build my business.
Yeah.
So I hope this helped you guys. And we were concerned about this being too much information on this one page. But if you walk through it step by step, you literally see how it connects to everything we've been telling you. And that's why we were so excited and really wanted to get you guys to understand the concept of how connecting has to go through this piece of share, decide, start, support, retain, and grow. If you don't retain, you are just churning and you're never going to get any momentum. Okay. So that's why we felt it was so important to give you this overview piece. And I will tell you that I have documented cases of people who were churning and they were losing consultants and people wouldn't stay in the system, to today, their retention rates are completely different because they work the business the way that we've been laying it out. So Heidi, I hope that helps everybody.
Oh.
You and I are so excited.
This is just absolutely amazing. And, I actually have a call today with somebody, to set up their first auto ship. And I've learned so much about taking their inventory and explaining all that, because it's just so important to walk people through this process in a very elegant, powerful way. And I just love it. So I'm going to show you guys one more thing before we wrap up. And again, I'd like to add that flow chart somewhere here so people can find it. And I'll have to figure out where, but the call that we are just